Hi guys and welcome to #SoccerKalitzStyle. As you know, the show that brings you all the latest in football news across the world. And today in particular, we're going to be looking at the Bundesliga 2. I know a lot of us, we're not that familiar with the Bundesliga 2. But today I have two very special guests with me who's going to explain to us a bit more about that league and about the teams that are playing in it. And yeah, I'm going to pose the interesting questions that you had to pose with them. Hi, Matthias, we'll start with you and then we'll go to Flori. And can you please introduce yourself to the fans of SoccerKalitzStyle?
Sure, 100%. Hi, I'm Matthias. I'm from Germany, and I'm following the Bundesliga for like 30 years or so. My team plays in the first division, SC Freiburg, but we are always moving between second and first division, so I know quite a bit about the second league as well.
Okay. Florian.
Yeah, my name is Florian. I'm also come from Germany. I'm a friend of Matthias, and for almost 30 years ago, we made together our first steps into football as Bayern Munich supporters. But then, yeah, with the time we moved over to different clubs. I'm a big supporter of here, KarlsRuher Sport Club. Big past, yeah, less beautiful present. Yeah, playing in the moment in the second division, and hopefully maybe next year back in the first division, so Bundesliga. But we'll see.
Yeah, cool, man. Listen, without any further ado, let's start with you, Florian, because Bundesliga 2 is a league that no one in South Africa, I think, follows, unless they are from Germany or unless they know people that are from there. Could you please elaborate a bit more? I know we discussed a bit on it on social media, but could you please elaborate a little bit more about the South African players which played for your team? How do you pronounce it?
KarlsRuher, KSC. It's the abbreviation. It's easier. KSC. It's the three letters of KC. Maybe you can say it like that. Yeah.
Okay. Could you please tell us a bit more? Yeah.
It's like KFC, but with an S instead of the
Yeah. We're gonna get a little bit later into that KFC brand, because I have some interesting facts, because I did some digging on your team, as I told you, just to prepare myself. But yeah, could you please elaborate a bit more on the South African players that played for your team?
Of course, yeah. I think during the history of Bundesliga or second Bundesliga, about 10 players from South Africa played in German Bundesliga. I think the first one was in the 80s. But then in the 90s, we had Sean Dundee, who was our star player in the mid-90s. He came from South Africa and has played first for some small teams, third, fourth division, and then he came our team as a young player, and he scored. And in the end, when we went down, he went to Liverpool and later VfB Stuttgart, and so. But he was maybe he's the most popular South African player in Germany, and he has this nickname Crocodile Dundee. They called him because he was. The goal crocodile, they said. Yeah, it was. But he scored a lot of goals. I think about 60 or 70 Bundesliga. I think in his best season, 20 for us. So, and he went when he was older, about 33. He went back, and he's a big idol for every KC supporter. And yeah, and some other players. But later also we had Bradley Carnel played first for our big rival. And later than for us, and with him we achieved to come back to Bundesliga in 2007, and yeah, I really liked him a lot. He was even my neighbor. We lived in the same village, so pretty nice guy. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Also, he played for the big rival, Stuttgart. So, you have a question or?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, so seeing you live so close to each other, you and neighbors, how did you experience him as a South African guy? What was he like?
Yeah, actually, I did not have that much contact with him, but actually he behaved like a normal guy, pretty sympathetic guy, normal life, not that big star stuff, and so really normal guy. I really liked him a lot, and and we liked especially how he played football, and it was for us really important. He played always. Sometimes he was injured, but if he wasn't, he played, and we liked him as a player. We liked him as a guy. So it was really, in the end, when we went back to second division, I think he stayed one more year, but then he changed teams in Germany. And today, I think he used to be assistant coach for New York Red Bulls. I read last year for just a year, but just for a few months. Strange career.
Okay.
So
very strange. Okay, Matthias. As Flori said, you met each other about 30 years ago. You took your first steps as Bayern Munich supporters, and what was that experience like for you, coming such a long way with Flori as a friend for 30 years, loving football? You've since then shifted your loyalties to your different places where you are residing, but still you remain good friends. So what was that relationship like?
Well, I think Florian and I were always connected, not only through our families, but also through sports. And we were both some of the biggest Bayern Munich supporters in our town. So we lived in the same town. And I remember well how we sat in a restaurant because Bundesliga in these days was only running on TVs and restaurants. And we sat in that big restaurant. Bayern was playing Freiburg, which is the local team which I'm supporting today. But these days I was supporting Bayern Munich. So you can imagine like 50 or 60 people in that restaurant drinking a lot of beer. Bundesliga, it's 3:30 Saturday afternoon. And out of these 60 people, 58 are supporting Bayern Munich, SC Freiburg, the local team. And the two of us are supporting Bayern Munich, the only two people in that restaurant. And then, SC Freiburg won, I think, 2-0 in these days. They always won. And we were such poor guys, sitting there and losing all the time against that small club. But we were holding together. You can imagine, man, how that was holding the two of us together. So we were suffering a lot during these days.
Yes. I think this was one of the main reasons why we were such hard Bayern Munich supporters, because everybody else was Freiburg. This was pretty new club those days. I think they played for several years in second division, and then they came to first division, and suddenly everybody was Freiburg fan. So all they switched from Dortmund and Bayern Munich. Everybody was. It was really pretty. It was kind of how can I say? It was everybody was in that segment, and so because of that, we even got harder Bayern Munich fans. And I remember that day Matthias talked about when we went with this. It was a poster printed on a wooden. It was on some wooden. A kind of wooden poster with all these Bayern Munich players, and we put it over there, and we were really dressed like Bayern Munich dresses and scarves and so thing. And then I remember that game, red card, I think in the first after 10 or 20 minutes, Thomas Helmer, something like that. But it was one of these days. One of these days we will never forget for sure. So.
And funny enough, in that very first season, Freiburg played in the Bundesliga. They played their first game against Bayern Munich, and the very first game they lost about our club Bayern Munich. And then in the back season, it's always like in the second half season, they played again against Bayern Munich. It was one of the very first match still in the Bundesliga. And Bayern won, and Freiburg defeated Bayern 3-1. So the whole nation was laughing at Bayern because they lost against that very small team, Bayern Munich. And there was that one guy scoring 3 goals, Uwe Wassmer. He's an absolute legend. My greetings out to Uwe Wassmer, because like 20 years later, Florian and I played together in the same football club, Riegler SC. And our coach was Uwe Wassmer, believe it or not. So that guy who was scoring 3 goals against Bayern Munich, you can see him on YouTube. Go and Google him. He was our coachman later. That was such a cool thing.
He scored in his whole career. He scored 11 goals. 11 goals in Bundesliga and 5 against Bayern Munich. This is amazing. Almost half of the goals he scored was against Bayern Munich. So yeah.
Very cool guy.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Listen, man, that's really nice memories that you guys have together. I also have a friend which I have such memories with. I was hoping he could join us today because I had a couple of tasks for him that he needed to perform today, but nonetheless I think something happened to him. But we'll get straight into the comment that I have there. Your team, KarlsRuher SC, KSC, has won the DFB Pokal back-to-back in 1955 and 1956. Yeah, that was about one of the highlights. And then there was also another one. But I don't think you were born in this time yet. Huh,
no.
Florian?
No, we never won some after those days. We never won something, but you know, as that doesn't matter for a supporter. You have your team, you get into love, and you never leave your great love. Doesn't matter.
I think the biggest victory KarlsRuher SC had in the nearer past was that 7-1 against Sevilla, right?
Exactly. No, Valencia.
Valencia.
Yeah, in 1993, and it was in the what's today it's the Euroleague, and it used to be the UEFA Cup. What's the English?
Yeah.
This and Valencia was. I think they won the Spanish league that year, and we won 7-0 against them after a 1-0 in the first match. A 7-0. This is everybody until today. Still today, everybody is remembering this great match 7-0, like against this great team. So, but yeah.
Nonetheless, as you say, Florian, it doesn't matter. If you love a team, you love a team. I had some digging to do, and so I saw that your team was established on the 6th of June, 1894. Coincidentally, it took you almost 60 years to win your first league title, but yeah, it became back-to-back.
No, it's the first. It was the cup, the national cup was this. We won a league title in 1999. I think it was 1999. So also more than 100 years ago. Yeah, exactly. The German champion. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. But
yeah, you got your facts. You got your facts straight, Florian. I see you got your facts straight. Yeah. Listen, man. Just before I get my last stat on KSC, I just want to head quickly over to Freiburg. So, Matthias, you were also established 1904, 24,000 seater, much less than what KSC has. KSC has almost 30,000 seater. The most goals scored by a player in your history is Nils Petersen. Is he still at your club?
Yeah, he is. Nils Petersen, he will probably play today. He is the German player who's got the most goals after being, after coming from the bank, during the game. So the best joker that we have in Germany, he's holding that record. And he's still playing for SC Freiburg. He used to play for Bayern Munich a bit earlier and Werder Bremen, Energie Cottbus. So he's quite an experienced Bundesliga player, yeah, and a real striker.
And a really intelligent guy. I would love to have this guy in my team because he's really smart one as well. So he's a really good football player, team player, and also really smart. So I love this player. So. And he even played for the national team. So I think 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. He unfortunately he missed the last World Cup, but he was one of the players who were in the Olympic in the outer circle of the team.
And he played in the Olympic Games. He was in the final. But
Very true.
He missed.
He missed the final penalty.
Yeah, he did, and he never misses penalties normally. So.
Yeah, it's always like that. You don't want to be remembered for that stuff. Coincidentally, I looked at Freiburg's record over the standings this season, Matthias, and I see that you in 9 points of the European places, 8 points adrift of Dortmund, which has Aaron Haaland. I mean, man, that's only 2 to 3 matches. Then you're in the European places. Are you going for it this season?
No. I wish they would, but with SC Freiburg, it's such a thing. They always say we want to just stay in the league, and if they like now are in the midfield, then they suddenly stop being ambitious. They will just relax where they are. You saw that last week in their match against Mainz, where they lost 1-0. And I think they just lose the tension once they see, okay, we cannot go down anymore to League 2. They lose their tension, and they don't aim for the EuroLeague. I think they're a bit afraid of that.
I think it's their plan, because they always go down when they play in the EuroLeague.
Yeah, if you look in the past, whenever they played EuroLeague, they went down the next year into the second division of the Bundesliga.
Okay. So you don't actually want those European places.
Well, I would want them to want to, but I think they don't really want. If players in Freiburg say in front of the TV, yes, we will go to the European League, that's our goal. There's always a joke that they make in front of the camera that they say the coach won't let me play in the next week. So yeah, that's SC Freiburg
in a nutshell.
Exactly.
Listen, Matthias, last time we spoke, you told me that you have this love for the town and the city. What makes Freiburg so special from other places?
Freiburg, and we saw that today, when we were driving out of Freiburg. In Freiburg, you can have a nice day with a nice spring day with 15 degrees, and then you drive up to the mountains and you've got snow. And you can go skiing or do a nice walk in the in the winter wonderland. So Freiburg is a nice mixture between winelands, like them in SA, but then also in 20 minutes you're in the mountains and you can go skiing. So it's really in between the worlds. And that's very, very cool. And besides that, it's not a big city. It's substantial, like 240 or 30,000 inhabitants. But it's more like a big village than like a city. Maybe comparable to Stellenbosch a little bit.
And I think this is the reason why the team always stay relaxed. I think this is the big advantage.
Yeah,
they always stay relaxed.
Yeah.
They never change coaches. So, like, they have Streich, the current coach, is there now for about 9 years. Before, there were some small changes, and Volker Finke, their big coach, their legend, was there for 12 years, 13 years. This is unique in Germany, German professional football.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Flori, I have this one last comment that I would like you to answer for me quickly. You are nicknamed the Eurofighters. Where does that nickname come from?
This is the Eurofighters. To be correct, are Schalke 04. You know them. They in the 90s. But we have this Euro. Also not because they say they are the Eurofighter. But before we had that season in 1939-94 when we won against Roma, Valencia, Bordeaux. So big teams. Those days the EuroLeague was only the championship. The champions play in the Champions League. I think only the first place or second, no, maybe second. So the EuroLeague was much more. There was much more competition, and the big teams played there. And we won there with this no names. We we achieved the semi-final where we lost against Casino Salzburg, really no-name team as well. And this was a really season everybody talks about until today. Everybody imagined this Euro season. It was really, really cool. Yeah. So, but long time ago, unfortunately.
Yeah, listen, man. Just some last facts on those South African players that I did some research on. So, Buckley, Delron Buckley also played for you. You forgot to mention him. We only spoke about Bradley Carnel and Sean Dundee. So, Delron Buckley also played for you after he came from Borussia Dortmund in 2007. He was there at you guys 2011-2012 season, where he made 34 appearances with 2 goals. So you wouldn't say a prolific signing, right?
Yeah, he was. He had his second spring actually. I think he had no club before he came to our club. He was unemployed or something like that. I don't know. But then he came back and he was always a really powerful player. And I think it was those days were his last good days. And he was always running and it was like a lot of power. So people were sad when he left the club, because I think it was when we went down to 3rd division. So So, but Delron Buckley, it's a name. Or Matthias, it was one of these players always in Bundesliga in the 90s, then later. So, but I think it was about 10 or 15 years in Bundesliga. And
absolutely. And I remember he was quite a dynamic player. You know, he was one of these guys. When he was on the ball, you were always looking, okay, what's happening now? You know, it was always interesting when he was on the ball. And he played for Borussia Dortmund probably the longest time in his career.
No, I think Arminia Bielefeld. Bochum and Arminia Bielefeld.
Okay.
So some small team from the West, yeah. But in Bundesliga. So.
Okay. Yeah, so then he went back to South Africa, back to his hometown, to Durban, which he played for 2 seasons, made 43 appearances, scored 3 goals. So, he was on his decline. Sean Dundee, he made 85 appearances for you guys between 1995 and 1998, 3 seasons, in which he scored 36 goals. That's prolific. To me, that's prolific. That averages about 12 goals per season, and let alone the assists. So then he had a second spell at you guys from 2004 till 2006, where he made 52 appearances with 14 goals. So you could see he got a bit older there. His conversion rate wasn't that high anymore. And then he went home 2008 to Amazulu, where he made 4 appearances with 0 goals. So just some fun facts. Just some fun facts for you. Bradley Carnel.
I think Sean Dundee loved Germany. He was absolutely in love with the country and the people. So he was functioning very well on this side.
He lives again in Karlsruhe. He moved back to Germany. You know, there's this funny story. He changed nationality. He has a German passport. He was allowed to play for the German national team. It was those days where we don't have good attackers, and then and even there was a discussion about with our chancellor if it is possible for him to get the German passport really quickly, because we want to have this good attacker in our national team. And then he really got the passport, and then he got injured. And then he got an invitation of national team, and he got injured. Then he got another invitation from national team, and then he was sitting on the bench and didn't play. Nobody knows why, because they were put so much effort in for his German passport. And then he got injured again, and he was never invited again. So he never played one match for the German national team, but he was once on the bench. So it was pretty funny story in the end. So unfortunately, didn't work with him. So the national team.
Okay. No, that's really nice to know. Bradley Carnel, he had 93 appearances with 8 goals, and then he came home to SuperSport United, made 12 apps, and then he went on to doing a show for them. So that was the history of the South African players. I hope there's more to come from our side. Listen, man, in South African players, you get real honest guys, you get hardworking guys on the ball who gives their heart and loyalty to every team or cause that they support. So as you would see if you followed Percy Tau, he's currently playing for Brighton Hove Albion. He's an excellent player. He's the one who's still putting us on the map over there. And Andile Jali and those guys. So I hope you sign South African players very soon. Listen, guys, I would quickly like to get into the next part of the show, which is, if there's nothing else regarding Bundesliga 2 that you guys would love to share with me or with the audience that's going to watch this afterwards.
So in general,
about Bundesliga 2, I mean, it's a very, very good and a very intense league. We are very proud of our Bundesliga 2. It's all professional clubs, so all the players there are professional football players, and I can really recommend to take a look into one of the games, especially if the big guys the people who are playing for the Bundesliga there, like Hamburger SV, really big German teams. If they play against each other, I can really recommend to just take a view in there and check it out.
No, definitely, man. Listen, I'm gonna.
The average audience in Bundesliga 2 is higher than in the Italian league, for example. I think it was like that 2 years ago. Not now, those days where we don't have any audience in the stadium. But they had more. 1 year they had more people in the stadium on average than Italian league had. So there's a lot of people. So full stadiums, not all the stadiums, but it's really high frequented. So this is something special, I think, about Bundesliga 2 for second division. Maybe in England it's maybe similar, but yeah.
Yeah, listen, man. What I wanted to say is, I was thinking of doing only Bundesliga 2 once a month, Bundesliga and Bundesliga 2, an update once a month, with regards to everything German, because currently we're only pushing the content of the Premier League and those sorts of stuff on certain platforms. But I would love to make an opportunity for us to just do it once a month, just a catch up, a quick discussion, what's new, who's going up, who lost points, those sorts of stuff, who's going where. Really in terms of the upcoming transfer window and the Euros that's coming up now, which I quickly want to go into, if there's nothing else from Bundesliga 1.
I love Bundesliga 1. I love. So this is our life. It gives structure to our weekends, you know. Sometimes you only watch.
No, I understand.
You're losing, but it's structure. It structures our weekends.
Yeah. At least that is one of the highlights. You know, this time is football. That's mapped out beforehand. Listen, this day and this day and this day, football days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. The next part is I quickly want to discuss a potential team for the Euros for you guys, which I would love you guys to interact and say if you are happy or won't it happen, that guy's not in form or whatever. This is just a per se team which I got from somewhere. Okay, here goes. In goal, I have Manuel Neuer. Would he be your number one in this European Championships coming up?
Of course.
100%.
No question.
It's the world's best goalkeeper.
Yeah, there's no one which is like him. No, for me, it's the best goalkeeper all over the world. Yeah. Great distance.
The greatest goalkeeper since Raimund Aumann.
So there's no place in this team for Van der Stegen or Bert Leno to make a claim for that spot.
No.
Not at all.
Undisputed. You guys agree?
No discussion.
Neuer and FC Bayern won everything last year. Everything. and he's certainly one of the main reasons. Not only with his goalkeeping, the basic goalkeeping skills that he has, he's always also making the game fast. I mean, if you see how the way he throws the ball to get attacks going, that's world class what he does. Also with the ball on his foot, so he's the most complete goalkeeper. Super experienced. He's won the World Cup. He's won the Champions League. He's won everything.
And always 100% motivated. Doesn't matter against whom they play. There's always 100% motivation. So it's an incredible guy for me. It's outstanding player, most outstanding player in the national team for me.
Okay. Then on the left hand side of your defense, 1-4-2-3-1 formation that we are busy with. So on the left hand side of the defense, I have Halstenberg. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, Halstenberg
from RB Leipzig, but
yeah,
this is not a special player. We have on the left side now Robin Gosens, or from Atlanta Bergamo, from the Italian league. But this is our weak point, the wingers. In the defense, I don't. Halstenberg is some normal good Bundesliga player, but not more. Or Matthias, or
I agree. Yeah. I agree, but there's nobody who plays world class on the defense wings.
Same right side. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just cutting out a bit here, guys. I think it's this load shedding who wants to be on his thing again. So we agree on Halstenberg, or there's someone else?
Just Robin Gosens, Philipp Max, but also nice player, but nothing special. Yeah, from PSV Eindhoven. Also a nice player, but it's not. Yeah, this is the weak point of the national team. Left side, also right side.
Would you agree with that, Matthias?
Yeah, absolutely.
After Philipp Lahm, yeah, chaos. When he retired, after that we didn't have a comparable player. Okay, it's hard to be like Philipp Lahm because he was maybe the best player on the left defense side. Those days he played, but after he retired, big challenge for Jogi Löw to fill this gap. Yeah, for the Euro. I think it will depend on how well they get this problem on the wings managed. It depends on that how successful they will be during the next European Championships.
Okay, I think again, our friend from South Africa has got problems with load shedding, which is a typical South African thing, unfortunately, where the energy providers are putting their energy offering down because there's not enough.
So maybe we continue with the center, or
absolutely, yeah. We've got obviously our awesome Mats Hummels with his most famous Außenrisspässe.
You think he will come back?
No. I think
so.
Sorry, you think so?
Yeah.
I really don't hope so.
Yeah.
Did we lose connection?
Yeah, we did, unfortunately. But guys, I've got to leave you because I hear and see my son is shouting for me. So,
okay, Matthias, no problem.
Yeah,
man.
Is that fine?
No problem. Take care of that, man. It's been a pleasure having you on the show as always. I would love to have discussed it a little bit further, but please take care of your son. I coincidentally saw now that the Hammers are hammering Arsenal. It's 3-0 now.
What?
So yeah, I have to take off this. Yeah, I have to take off the shirt immediately. I can't wait.
Yeah, but if you're Arsenal supporter, you know this book, Fever Pitch. This is about how hard it is to be an Arsenal supporter. You should read it.
Still there?
Good. Yeah, Fever Pitch. It's about how hard it is to be an Arsenal supporter. You should read it. You need it those days. You need it again.
Okay, it seems like connection is going down. Why don't we just continue next weekend with the German national team, and maybe Derek sorted out his load shedding until then.
Okay.
In any case, I'm wishing you a lekker weekend. Take care. All the best, and talk to you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye. I'll stay here for some more minutes, so I'm waiting here.
Florian, you're still there?
Yeah, I'm still
Seems
there.
like we have connection issues there. Has Matthias left us?
Matthias left us, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's continue. In the middle of that defense, I had Sule. Would you agree with that?
I like Sule. He got injured 1 year ago, and after that he got some weight problems. And he's a really physical player, and yeah, it takes him a long time to get back into his older shape, to get back in shape. So actually, normally I like him, but in the moment he has some problems. But I think during the next month, he will become the old Sule we know. So I really like this player, really talented, fast, and really a big guy. So I like him. Yeah.
He's really a big frame. Next to him we have Ginter.
No, he's from Freiburg, Matthias. But he's an all-rounder, but nothing special. So I hope that maybe Mats Hummels will come back. Now Jogi Löw said a few weeks ago, maybe there's an opportunity to bring him back to the national team. He was forced to retire, but hopefully he comes back. I hope he can solve some problems with the speed, but really good technique. And as you watch Premier League, so Antonio Rüdiger. This is not for me. They are Ginter, Rüdiger, and Süle. This is not the best defense in the world, so not at all.
They are a bit suspect, right? There's a bit of suspicion there.
Yeah, talented, but especially Rüdiger, really talented, but a lot of mistakes. For me, I'm not a big supporter. I would prefer to have Boateng back rather prefer to get Boateng. Jerome Boateng also played for Man City, and Bayern Munich played to get back into the team better than Rüdiger and Ginter, and so we'll see what will happen during the next weeks. Yeah.
Okay, on the right-hand side we have Klosterman.
Yeah, same as the left side. It's like he also plays for RB Leipzig. So, but nothing special. Good Bundesliga player, but not more. Yeah, can't compete with the big offense player from the other national teams like England or France or so. No, this is also a weak point. Yeah.
Okay. So who would you put there?
On the right side? Good question.
Yes.
I think this is a big problem that we can't solve this. I don't know at all. This is a big problem for the national team. Right side and left side. Maybe.
Yeah, and the coach is also finishing up at the end of the season, which is also posing a lot of new problems.
Maybe it's a good opportunity to start something new, or as well. So after 15 years, Joachim Löw, maybe it's a good time to make a change, just to get something new started. I'm optimistic that things will change into better and won't worsen. So we'll see.
Okay, moving swiftly onward to the midfield. Those two defensive positions, they belong to Toni Kroos.
Toni Kroos, I didn't get there was technical problem with the second name. Toni Kroos and who else?
Joshua Kimmich.
Kimmich. Yeah, Kimmich, or really good player, Bayern Munich player, really aggressive player. I really like him. And Kroos is Real Madrid. So much Champions League experience, and one of the players who won the World Championships in 2014. Really good player. And there's as well Gundogan. I don't know. So Gundogan is in the shape of his life. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah. So for me, this is that Germany has really good players there. So the central defense, midfield, or the center is they are really well equipped there. I think this is one of the strengths of the team. Really good player, experienced player, and playing for the top teams: Man City, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid. So I think this is extra class. Yeah.
Okay, and then up front, we opted to go with Leroy Sané on the left-hand side of that attack. Do you agree?
Yeah, really talented player, but he has problems in the defense. You know, he got some problems in Bayern Munich. He had trouble with the coach because perfect in so fast, so much technical skills. But his problem is in the defense, because as a winger, you have to work in the offense and as well in the defense. And if he can change, but yeah, I think
you still with Flori?
What, please?
Are you still there, Flori?
Yeah, now I hear you again. I lost you for a few.
So while we're waiting for our guest to return. Oh, you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me fine, because you broke off a bit there.
Now I can hear you again. The last thing I heard, we talked about Sané, and I said he had problems with the defense. And but if he changed that, he's maybe one of the best winger all over the world. But he has to change his mind. I think it's a problem of mind, because the skills are there. You saw him for Man City. I think it's the same problem. This is why it was possible for him to go to Bayern Munich, because he had this problem in defense. I think Guardiola told him the same as Hansi Flick now does. So if he changed his mind, he will be perfect.
Top player,
but not just some skilled player, as we have a lot of them all over the world. So this is really exciting story. So it's now the time for decision. So changing mind, becoming a world-class player, or go on with this weak defense efforts than just some normal player.
Yeah. Listen, man, on the right-hand side, I've reserved for Serge Gnabry.
Really fast player, really like him. Also, this is the system they play with, is fast wingers. They have two more players there, or three more players. So I really like Gnabry, really fast, and he has a really good development. He was used to be some normal player 3 or 4 years ago, but then in the last 2 or 3 years, really good player. I like him. It's like, yeah, a bit more experienced like Sané. So yeah, good man.
Yeah, listen, man, and Florian, I don't know if you're aware that he was one of my children at Arsenal. So we grew up there, and we just let him go. I'm still sad about that decision, because I just think that him, Wilshere, Theo Walcott, they had a nice core, and they didn't, all of them. But Gnabry, at least now, is doing his thing. But as for Theo Walcott and Jack Wilshere, they didn't reach their full potential, which is really saddening for me. But to see Serge Gnabry doing so well, knowing that we educated him, it says a lot about the systems that we had. But although we went out to West Brom for a season and then Bayern Munich pulled him towards their side, they've really improved his game, and they've made him that all-round player. In the center of those to create this stuff, I've went with Marco Reus. Disagree.
Yeah, for me the best choice would be I like Marco Reus. Really a lot of injuries, always injured, but a good technique. But for me, always when it comes to the important point of a match, he fails. For me, he's not a big international player. So this is the reason why the world doesn't know the name Reus, because he is always injured, always, again, 2 weeks before World Cup, and then here injury, there injury. So for me, yeah, you can't win a title with Reus, because maybe and he has a lack of mentality, in my opinion. Yeah. So but talented, and but not the best choice not in the starting 11 for me. Yeah, I would prefer Thomas Müller, for example, or
okay.
I hope that he can that the Jogi Löw brings him back into the national team, or if he has a good day, Havertz, who playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, I wanted to speak about him now.
Yeah. So yeah, this for me really maybe the most talented player we have in Germany in the moment. So but he has some problems now. In Premier League, he's like, it's some good games, some really bad games. I think he has a corona disease or something like that, and yeah, so hard season for him.
Yeah. Listen, I actually think that he's hit form these last 2 to 3 games. I've seen him link up with Hakim Ziyech, and the next man that I'm going to mention now. He's really starting to get a bond with those two guys, and I knew that once they got that bond, they're going to start to be deadly. With Mason Mount in there, with Christian Pulisic coming back, with Kovacic. Listen, man, Chelsea can really be a force to be reckoned with if they are molded right. And then we have that German coach there, Thomas Tuchel, which is a whole nother discussion which I want to speak to you and Matthias about, is why does Germany have such great coaches and always this, which is really pleasing to see.
Yeah, you mean we have Tuchel? Yeah, still there. So you're talking about Tuchel and Klopp. You said they're big coaches. I don't know if Germany has better coaches than other countries do have. Maybe, I don't know. These are two good coaches, but Actually, these are the top coaches. So there's not a high quantity of top coaches, but these two guys are really special ones. So yeah, but unfortunately they are not coaching the national team. So but Tuchel, I think, is really good choice for Chelsea. Now they beat Atletico Madrid, which is not easy at all. And I think now Werner and Havertz and Rudiger, they get back into this really good shape, or it's how we perceive it here in Germany. That's that things are improving for them, or is it like that, or?
It is. No, it is. It is definitely improving for them. You could see that Thomas is working nicely with those German boys, and he's showing them what they need to do in terms of to find consistency. And for my number one striker, it's exactly that man, Timo Werner. There's no one else that I would put right there now for the Euros going forward into the World Cup, looking forward, if I want to build for something in the future. Or would you disagree with Timo Werner up front?
Yeah, because he's so fast. This is like, if you want to play a fast system with his fast wingers, and this is the perfect. He is the perfect man on this position. So if maybe it's hard if you play against a really a team with which has his strength in defense. It's hard with these guys because he's not that tall guy. But I think he is he's a really good player. I like him. He's fast and always running and always motivated. So, and still pretty young. I think he's 23 or 24, something like that. So yeah. And now we had some hard days in Chelsea. I think Giroud played a few some matches and high competition. But I think he improves. That will help him to get a better player with this high competition on this position. So yeah, I like him. I think he's a good man. Yeah.
Okay, right. Then that's wrapped up from my side. Florian, it's been a pleasure, a real pleasure having you on the show. SoccerKalitzStyle. You always bring such in-depth knowledge, analysis on each and everything. That's why I love talking to people from abroad, because they just see a different perspective of the game that we see. We are just watching it on TV while they're actually living it. And yeah, a lot of us want to live that dream which you are currently living. But yeah, so be it. If God makes it that way, it's going to be that way. Listen, Flori, is there anything you would like to say to the fans that's going to watch this afterwards? As you know, or don't know, we have a large following of people in different continents actually watching our stuff. So there's some people in the Asian countries, in Europe, in the Americas, and then in Africa locally. So is there anything you'd like to say about Bundesliga 2, about KSC, about SoccerKalitzStyle, about the German national team? Go.
So first I feel pretty honored. Very honored that you invited me to participate in the show. Thank you very much for that opportunity. And so yeah, I can invite people to watch Bundesliga and Bundesliga 2. It's an honest league, and I really I like this. Let's just watch it and then find out if you like it. It's not different. I think it's interesting to compare the different ways of playing football to Premier League, and so just try it and always keep your big laugh. If you lose against the Hammers, doesn't matter. Better days will come, and you know.
Yeah. So no, man. Listen, Florian. That's why I just think I have to catch that second half of the game just to know what happened, because I actually sacrificed this first half just to have this discussion. But I'm happy to watch it. I'm really happy.
So keep it up, and so have a good time, and crossing fingers for Arsenal for the second half. Yeah, and hello to everybody, and so yeah, till soon.
Thank you very much, Flori. We'll have a discussion very soon. I'll hook up with you via our social media platforms, and then we can have another chat. Thank you very much again for joining us, and send your best regards to Matthias. Thank you, man.
Dude. Yeah, bye. Have a good time. Bye.